national party. The party for Halloween. Mixing. Show your green.
Keep going, 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 keep going. Progress, keep going. Success, keep going. NNP, keep going. All our we, keep going. NNP, keep going. Democracy, keep going. Prosperity, keep going. Stability, free food, free water, more infrastructure, health for agriculture, so we could live better. Business development and foreign investment. So for Grenada come, let the progress go on. Go green, go green, go green, go green, show green, more green, go green. Go green, go green, go green, go green, show green, more green, go green.
Tell them say we don't want to change. We don't want the country rearrange. Tell them don't take that backward step and next thing you regret.
So stay with NNP for more stability, 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 for more stability. Let the progress continue.
Spider, Skinny. On the other day, everybody singing one song. What is the election coming there? You know who they're voting for. You have a kind of chorus they were singing tonight.
Let me hear.
If NDC win again, we cry it. If NDC win again, we ball it. If NDC win again, we cry it. If NDC win again, we ball it. I know.
Me partner Tilly meet me, I tell you he vex like hell. He says Spider Grenadians go vote back Dr. Mitchell. I said Tilly 5 years now you there, you don't have to vex. And Grenadian people are stupid, they know where to put the X and they singing no cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Lindan.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Instead of NDC walking to build the country, look how they fighting like dog and cat in their own party. Some NDC supporters say they can't take no more, and they make Tillman get so vexed. Till he fire Joe and they singing no cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Lindan.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting? If NDC win again, we cry it. If NDC win again, we ball it. If NDC win again, we cry it. If NDC win again, we ball it. I know.
NDC say a wind of change was coming in the country. Some people was so sad, some was real happy. If you thought Ivan and Emily was the worst thing you see, they say NDC is the worst change to hit the country and they singing no cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Lindan.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Still afraid to call it the casino NMP go win. 5 years now they in power and they don't do nothing. Joe don't get ball out already, Uncle Bossing go win. Man we fed up, let the chorus come in. No cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Lindan.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Tell them we voting for the NNP now. We voting for the NNP, yes. We party cannot fool us. We stand up inside of the house. House, 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 house. For my minister, Modest, there is so much to say. You really lifted so much, you showed us that right away. And we don't want to go back to those hand guru days. So everybody, let me hear you say, we voted for the NNP now. We voted for the NNP, yes. We voted for the NNP now. We voted for the NNP, yes. No other party cannot fool us. We stand up inside of the house. House, 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 house. Yo, leave the ex by the house. Rest the ex by the house. Put the ex by the house. Slam the ex by the house. Leave the ex by the house. Rest the ex by the house. Put the ex by the house. We voting for the NNP now. We voting for the NNP, yes. We voting for the NNP now. We voting for the NNP, yes. No other party cannot fool us. We stand up inside of the house. House, 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 house. Leave the ex by the house. Rest the ex by the house. Put the ex by the house. Slam the ex by the house. Leave the ex by the house. Put the ex by the house. Rest the ex by the house. Slam the ex by the house.
NMP, St. George's to St. Andrews, St. Patrick's to St. David. Chantimel to Mount Craven, La Mort to St. Mark. We're on the road. We're on the road. NMP on the road. We're on the road. NMP guide us. We're on the road. Go tell our enemies. NMP on the road. NMP guide us. We on the road, yeah. NMP guide us, be our guidance, make intercession for us. Hey, NMP guide us, be our guidance, and this could never stop us. We're on the road, we're on the road. NMP on the road, we're on the road. NMP guide us, we're on the road. Go tell our enemies, NMP on the road. NMP guide.
And good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and pretty Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean.
Look at every
Wherever you're listening, locally, regionally, internationally, once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. At least at the 12 o'clock hour there. No, why every now and again I'm tempted to say up until the 12. Oh, I think it probably comes from the hard talk, eh? And you used to say we up until 12. Nice, yeah.
boys, them are right. NMP is standing on the rock. Hey, we're on the road. We're on the rock. NMP on the road. We're on the rock. NMP guide us. We're on the road. Go tell our enemies. NMP on the road. NMP guide us. We on the road, yeah. Tell them. If we fighting, tell them be careful, cause the house is in light. The house is in order. So tell your neighbor, brother, sister, and father, the house is brighter. Brighter. We're on the road. We're on the road. NMP on the road. We're on the road. NMP guide us. We're on the road.
And saying a special good night to all of you joining us via the various mediums. Those of you who have joined us on the YouTube, those of you who've joined us on the Facebook. Let me see who's on the Facebook. First of all, who has checked in on the Facebook. I see Nesta Sinclair, good night to you. Yvonne Courtney, Dr. Love, good night to you. The Truth Mitchell, good night to you. John Mark, Connie Thompkin, Connie, good night to you, my dear. Elizabeth Douglas, Neil Stafford, Teresa Colombo, Winnie Simon, Shemi Joseph, Shemi, good night to you, and Keda. Elizabeth Douglas, Betty Ann Murray, good night. Murray Vento, good night to you. Errol Bonaparte, Charmaine Ragbasing, Laslin Douglas, Rocky Vento, I assume that's the name there, or is it Rocky Vento? Yeah, I believe it's Rocky Vento. Good night to you, Landon Jane, Dylan Pierre, Esther Peters, Nurse Wendy Ann McGuire. Good night to each and every one of you. Yeah, nice.
Hunger, we got to fight. You gave nothing but disrespect and
I had to take a little time there because Auntie Jenny programmed the heavy day today. If you did not listen to Simon Says, you need to take the time and go and listen to Simon Says. If you didn't get to listen to Simon Says today, you need to get the chance and go and listen to Simon Says a little later on. Make sure you go and you get the chance and you listen to Simon Says. Take what I'm telling you. Nice, yeah.
riding. So tell me, are you ready now? People get ready, 'cause the greenhouse is open.
Yes, indeed. Get ready, folks.
Everyone is welcome. Just walk riding. No more will you fool the people with propaganda, lies and ramble. No election come again, you still complaining and playing the blame game. No blind and empty promises won't work for you in this crucial day. Only the house can deliver that much needed shelter. People get ready.
Yeah, let's go quickly over those who are on the YouTube. Yeah, see, I wasn't doing all of that tonight, but I did it. Good night to Alban Harris, Mr. B, Cynthia Bartholomew, Kathleen Ledlow, Agnes Henry, Lona Lolo Williams, Dalton Shron, Carib Spice, Maud Martin, Lystra Abraham, Bernadette Joseph, Faith Lynn Hallie Douglas, Velma Pascal, Dolores Redhead, Claude Abraham, Ruth Chitterman, Pastor Casimir Thomas, good night to you, Kathleen Ledlow, Anastasia Buckmeyer, Christine Alexander, Anne-Marie Grant, Adrian Watts, good night to you, and lovely Mrs. Watts, Jacinta Livingston, Desiree, where is it? Desiree Joseph, good night to you, David Lanclos, good night, Hermina Batiste, good night to you, and Jackie Raymond, Joan Henry, Glenda Margaret Francis John, Anastasia Buckmeyer, see you, Olive McEwen, Stephanie John, Norma Felix, and Salam. I see all of you in. Special good night to each and every one of you.
People get ready, 'cause the greenhouse is open. You don't need no passage, just walk right in. People get ready, 'cause the greenhouse is open. Everyone welcome, just walk right in. We're not critical.
And you know, we said we would deal with the IMF report tonight, huh? And we will be dealing with the IMF report in a short while. Just waiting for the numbers to get to where they ought to be for us to deal with that issue. I'm not seeing myself at the magic number I need yet. Huh?
If nothing but disrespect and neglect to represent.
Also tonight we're going to be going a bit back in time, so we'll be pulling some of the videos that we have from where before. And you know, sometimes I'm looking at some of these things and it's like, wow, that 25 years passed real fast. Or those 26 years have gone really fast, yeah? Mm-hmm.
Don't need no passage, just walk right in. People get ready, 'cause the greenhouse is open.
Also need to inform you all that the St. Andrew St. Patrick's zonal event that has been postponed, I will get new information regarding that as soon as possible so that I can pass on to you all. So that's the activity that was planned for the SAB playing field on the 1st of February. That has been postponed. So we're going to get some more information regarding that activity and the date it will take place, because it will take place. It's just been postponed from that date. We'll get the information very soon. So the St. Andrew and St. Patrick zonal event that was carded for the SAB playing field on the 1st of February. That has been postponed.
People get ready, but the greenhouse is open. Everyone welcome, let's walk right in. People get ready, but the greenhouse is open. Don't need no passing, let's walk right in. People get ready, but the greenhouse is open. Everyone is welcome, just walk right in.
Walk. Come in green or done green, you know.
Creative powerhouse behind Key Central and dozens of standout brands across Grenada and beyond. From web designs, animations, and motion graphics to custom video productions, we bring your visions to life with unmatched efficiency and professionalism. Need a logo? Logo design starts at just $1,500. And our starter pack includes brochures, call cards, and letterheads. Whether you're launching a new business, revamping your identity, or telling your story visually, Chameleon Design Studios is the new face of design. Call us now at 1473-422-8601 or scan that QR code. Follow us on Instagram at chameleon_473. Let's communicate. Call us today.
Walk right in. People get ready, but the greenhouse is open.
Yes, indeed. And I want to say a special good night to Ranks. Hey, Ranks, I know that you're listening there tonight, man. Saying a special good night to you. Hope everything is going all well and okay on your end, bro. Nice, beautiful. Let me play this one as well here.
Information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. For more information, contact We Noise TV at...
All right, yes, indeed. And just one more, Ollie, and then we get into everything that we have to discuss for tonight. Yeah, just one more, and then we'll get into eating and do eating and handle with business, right? Nice. Yeah, one more, just one more. And let me just make sure there's one more. Yeah, we want more Grenada, we want more. Yeah, just making sure I have it nice and thing there. Nice. And let me just play this next one here.
Store open at its new location. Visit the Independent Store, open at its new location, Grenville Street, near Purcell's Hardware. Second floor, Central Sales Building. Get all your decorations, rosettes, buntings, pennants, banners, and more. You can also get your t-shirts and polo shirts for kids and adults in the national colors. Say Happy Independence with colors. We love you, Grenada.
Happy Independence, Grenada, we love you. Happy Independence, Grenada, we love you.
Yes, indeed, that's the Independent Store. So remember, they are on Grenville Street, close to Purcell's. Yeah, when you're passing through town, you can't miss it, man. When you see the national colors and them flying, so you can't miss them thing and them. All right, folks, also remember, yeah, we're heading down to the end of the month and we have things we have to sort out. So those of you who are willing to make your donations, remember, you can make your donations. And let me just show you all how you could make your donations. You see here? Yes, you can go there and you can make your donations. You go to pay.go2, like go to, so go2fet.com/484, and you just follow the instructions when you go there, and you'll be able to make your donations. Whether it's $5 or more than that, you can make your donation on GoToFet. All right, so you can go to there, right? Pay.go2 FET, FET.com/484. You can go there and you can make your donations. As I said, we if I can get about 20 people to commit to making a monthly donation, it's going to carry us a far way. We need to get the program not only on the internet, but we need to start getting back on radio and so too. So we need your support to do what is necessary to maintain what we're doing now and to get back on radio as well. All right, folks, so once again, we just put it up quickly in case you had to go and get a pen. We're going to put it up a little later in the program, and it's always up at the end of the program. Yeah, and those of you on the YouTube, the Facebook, it's usually there, so you'll be able to see it, and you can make your donations via that method. All right? Yes, indeed. And no, we're not taking calls and them kind of thing yet. We have to get into the discussion, yeah, for tonight. And first of all, we want to deal with the IMF report. Yeah. So I see the IMF have sent out a report that various, I saw the member of parliament, I believe, I saw something from him, the member of parliament for South St. George, speaking to the wonderful IMF report. What wonderful IMF report, Papa? Yeah? The IMF sent out a report, right? Where there are some positive elements and an overwhelming number of negative elements within that IMF report as well. Yeah? Many of them. So, for instance, when they speak in the positive sense, and let me just read here, they're speaking of strong growth of the Grenadian economy. And again, while the IMF speaks of strong growth, it is what the growth is based on. So the growth is based on, for instance, construction. The construction is only at the level it is at because of Hurricane Beryl. So it was not that the NDC came into office and set up structures that created additional jobs in the construction sector in Grenada. It is not that they have started so many projects all over Grenada that there are businesses being built here and factories being built there and homes being renovated and so on. It is not that they came in and they put a program in place that says, go and build, and we're giving you different incentives to go and build and so on, and then everybody finding work in the construction sector. In fact, people are finding work in the construction sector now, still because of Hurricane Beryl. So you had that draw since Hurricane Beryl of all the thousands of workers that cycled through Carriacou and the northern part of Grenada and other parts of Grenada, even in South St. George. I know of an individual that lost their home during Hurricane Beryl, and there were one or two of them, even in South St. George. Carriacou was literally wiped off the map. Petit Martinique, the same thing. So when you see construction taking place in those places, especially now in 2026, it is not due to any assistance of the government. It's not due to any big set of work by the government. The construction jobs were created by a natural disaster. I mean, NDC for itself is a natural disaster. But the construction jobs that are part of, for instance, they spoke of the growth being 4.4% driven by investment construction with moderating inflation, right? And they say moderating inflation, I don't agree. Inflation is moderating. Inflation keeping, just according to the CPI, it's increasing, yeah? So I've explained to you why you're seeing a growth in the economy. It's based heavily on construction. You and I know how many people were up in Carriacou for months at a time, sometimes for weeks at a time, involved in construction. We know that the sales of construction material, etc., to Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and again, the northern part of the island that was heavily infected by Hurricane Beryl. Those areas were heavily affected. Due to that, the construction has been taking place there more than would have taken place otherwise. That has led to a situation where there are more people employed in the construction sector. So when the Prime Minister makes the boast that you can't find people to work in the construction sector, it is a temporary situation. We're talking this nonsense about take the deportees from the United States and send them to work in the construction sector. Nonsense. Because the increase in the construction sector, the number of people that we see working in the construction sector now are not due to anything that the NDC do that was so good, and they do something so good and increase. Ask yourselves, which projects have they started in Grenada? Which new projects have they brought? Yeah? The project that they're doing right now with Nawasa that the Prime Minister trying to distance himself from, that project was a project negotiated, organized, and get the funding from during the period of the new National Party. The project on the fort in town is a project that every aspect of that was sorted out by the new National Party. It just did not start at that level. It started before, but it did not start at that heavy construction level until the NDC administration came in. So it wasn't something that they conceptualized and say, wow, let's fix the fort and let's move the police headquarters from here. Nothing to do with them. Yeah? The hotel projects, what is building up in St. Patrick, the hotel in St. David, those projects, nothing to do with the NDC administration. All of them came through, in some instances, CBI came in during the period of the new National Party. And again, you will see an increase in employment, especially between 2020 coming up to 2025, because you're dealing with a period in 2020 when you had nearly no employment. Government workers was getting the salary. Government workers and all wasn't unemployed, all was getting all the salary. It just was, in many instances, you had to work from home. Yeah? I don't know how that worked out for some people, the job they were doing, but they were at home during that period, and many other businesses did the same. And many businesses in the private sector laid off people because they were already going through a situation where sometimes they were surviving, well, we have X amount of people and we surviving month to month. When money come in, we able to keep these people on staff. And you ended up in a situation where there was no money coming in and they had to release people because their savings was not significant enough to take them through that period. And even with the government programs, that's why the new National Party administration, during COVID-19, back in 2020 into 2021, had to put in various programs, including the one through the Grenada Development Bank that certain people go and use and thing, including the one at the Grenada Development Bank, and other programs for people who were unemployed at that point in time. The reason the government had to do it was because of the high level of unemployment, not due to non-performance by the government, due to COVID-19. You had millions of people sick around the world and dying. And there was no clear understanding of the disease at that point in time. So there had to be serious measures taken. The hotel sector was decimated. They had to keep people home because nobody wasn't traveling, nobody wasn't coming. You have the St. George's University that I think one of the figures I saw was about 15% of the GDP of Grenada is through the St. George University. I think between 15 to 25%, I think it varies, of the GDP was based on St. George University. Not just students going there, but what they do when they're off the campus. The people who have the vehicle rentals, so the people who rent vehicles on a monthly basis or an extended period of 6 months or 3 months, etc., to the St. George University students. The people who provide housing for them. Not everybody want to live on campus. Some want to live off campus in True Blue, in Frequente. Some even live down in St. George, different areas. Once they're within an area, they can get bus to go to and from. They live there. So the people who provide housing for them, who have invested and developed housing options for these students, those people end up broke. Why? They had to end up getting assistance from the government. Because at that point in time, we all saw the pictures. I must find it one of these days to remind some people of the students line up outside Point Saline, line up past the American Monument going down the road. Well, up the road, because that is down. Up the road, line up going back to the United States, going back to Korea and all different countries that they came from. Because the university basically closed down. So all the people who worked in all the shops, the bars, the nightlife entertainment in the south of the island that provided services to these people, they had to send home their staff, the bartenders, the waitresses, the cashiers. They had to send home the cooks in the kitchen, everybody, from dishwasher up. They had to close down, so they had to send it, so these people were unemployed. So if you come from a situation like that in 2020, then your country starts to reopen by 2022. So 2021, we had a massive outbreak here, and again, certain measures had to be taken. And then you go into 2022, when there's a clear understanding of what the disease is and people start to get back the jobs and so on, and places start to open and people start to get to go out and so again and congregate and different things like that. Yeah? Remember, down to the cruise ships, those who working on cruise ships lost their jobs at that point in time as well. The cruise ships came in St. George's Harbor and dropped them off. So we know that this was the situation then. So when you come boasting of an IMF report and doing like the IMF report give you such a good grade because look, we increase employment. The increase in employment in Grenada has nothing to do with the NDC. Let's just make that absolutely clear. It has nothing to do with, in fact, it would have been better, more improved had the NDC not been there, because they have not been able to negotiate any projects for Grenada. Had the new National Party been there, the party would have been able to negotiate additional new projects under CBI and otherwise for Grenada that would have created even more employment. This administration, they jump plane, they go. Remember, the Prime Minister in Nigeria, what have we gotten from the Nigerian billionaire as an investment in Grenada and a project in Grenada that's creating jobs for Grenadians? Dangote, multi-billionaire, bring him here, he went there, all kind of thing, fly on the plane here and there. Has he invested and sunk millions of dollars into Grenada in a productive sector that is creating employment or creating an alternative means of income for the state of Grenada? No. Our fishermen are now on the verge of becoming unemployed as well, because up to now, today, the 23rd day of January, 2026, we have no word from this administration as to what is taking place with the fishing ban on our fishermen and women. No information. And it's going to affect our agricultural output as well, because the flights that came in mainly for the fish. There are certain flights that come and they came mainly because they had to transport the fish from Grenada to the United States. And you were able then to use those same flights to get your agricultural produce out of Grenada to the market in the United States. What is happening now? They don't have the fish to carry. So you may very well see, and I'm saying it now because it is a clear possibility, and I'll go say I have goat mouth. It is not that anybody wishing anything bad on the country. It's because you understand how things work and you explain it so people know what to expect. The soursop that we have, that we send to the United States, the same flights that come for the fish is sometimes the same flights that we get the soursop, and whether it's mangoes or whatever else we get out of Grenada to go up to the United States. Once those flights decide, hey, we are not having enough cargo coming out of Grenada for 2 flights or 3 flights, we're going to reduce it to 1. You're going to find a problem for these agricultural people to get their produce into the US market is a fact. You heard George F. Huggins speak about this and their concern, because when the flight coming down, they could get certain things down with the flight, and then the flight know that they're loading up to go back up. But if it's a situation that they reduce the amount of flights, it's going to be more difficult to get certain items into Grenada, and even the price of those items coming into Grenada may increase. So we have to understand. So when they're jumping up talking about, oh, wonderful IMF report, I watched one newspaper today begging them how all you could have such a wonderful IMF report and don't talk about the IMF report and that sort of thing. This is why they can't talk about the IMF report, because they know people like me are going to come here and explain it. Don't worry with them that jump in front and talking about IMF report. They are law unto their own. They are one faction within the NDC, because there are different factions within the National Democratic Congress. So they are just a different faction within the party. But understand clearly, please understand that when it comes to the IMF report and you hear the positive things, they can't take credit for the positive things in relation to it. Yeah? So they're talking about the debt. The IMF is basically saying too that the debt path is sustainable now, but can only remain sustainable if the fiscal rules return. Remember, the fiscal rules, which says that Grenada is supposed to put aside X amount of money and you're not supposed to spend more than a certain amount on certain things. Those rules have been put aside. So what you're seeing now is not a realistic report coming out of where Grenada should be if the rules were in place. This NDC administration used the excuse of Beryl to suspend the fiscal rules, which are legally required, to suspend the fiscal rules all now. It's suspended. So it means that they can spend as much. They may have been limited in the amount they could have spent on certain things. They don't have those limits again. They may have been limited in the way that they can deal with contractors, and they didn't have them limits again. They would have had to put aside a certain amount of money to repay debt and for savings and so on. They don't have to do that. And they're still having problems to pay civil servants with that. I'm hearing now of the people on the road gangs who have not been paid since before Christmas, that are owed and still being told, all you go get it next month. I'm being told of the nurses, the doctors in our healthcare system who are supposed to receive the honorarium, that the honorarium has not been paid to them, and then they get a message saying basically, don't call us, or you might get it in the next fortnight. So this fortnight they didn't get it. So the nurses and the doctors will wait. Or they short payment, so they start to call. They get a message that come out saying, don't call. Don't call. That's the kind of thing that's taking place. So with all of that, you're going to come and tell me that this is a positive report. You set aside the fiscal rules and they still can't pay. They still can't pay for goods and services. But it's a good fiscal, it's a good report. It's a good report. Yeah? The IMF report speaks to buffers and disaster financing, and it credits Grenada for having that in place. Yeah? Disaster financing. That is not something that the NDC put in place. That was put in place by the NNP. Way back in 2007. Hurricane Ivan was in 2004. And CRIF did not exist in 2004. Because I hear somebody stupidity on them making statements and saying that, oh, we should have been CRIF when Ivan hit. You could not have been in something that didn't exist and was created because of that. I don't know if them have some vehicle to go back to the future. But the NNP doesn't have it. So CRIF was created when different governments saw what happened to Grenada back in 2004 with Hurricane Ivan. So that insurance facility was created, and Grenada, yes, Grenada, under the new National Party of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, was one of, if not the first country to join in CRIF. So this government can take credit in relation to disaster financing and them who put it in place and that kind of thing, and the insurance and so. It's not them that put it in place, it was the new National Party that put it in place. In fact, in even the creation of CRIF, it was the then new National Party, Brother Gregory Bowen and Dr. Mitchell and so, that had a heavy say in how CRIF was created and put together. So when they're talking about that and looking at that like there is something that they do, again, another positive aspect of the IMF report that has absolutely nothing to do with the present administration in Grenada. Yeah? And understand, that's just some of the positives. But let me tell you some of the negatives now. In part of the IMF report, they speak to something called debt distress. It says Grenada is in a state of debt distress. Let me see if I could find that here. Here it is. Yeah, it speaks of Grenada being in debt distress. So it speaks of accounting for the off-budget Polaris investments which result in more persistent primary deficits. The Polaris investment is to be managed through a special purpose statutory entity financed by concessional central government borrowing and a 10% government general government debt. And a 10% government equity contribution. The additional borrowing would temporarily halt the decline in general government debt, but Grenada's debt dynamics would remain sustainable. The 60% of GDP target is projected to be achieved by 2030, and net of government deposits debt is already projected to remain around 60% of GDP over the medium term. NDC wouldn't be in office at that time anyway. However, Grenada is assessed to remain in debt distress on account of unresolved official arrears. Debt distress is not a positive thing. That's a positive report. The country in debt distress. And you trying to explain to us and tell us that that is a positive something, that is a report that they're supposed to be jumping to the ceiling about? That is going to give us problems if Grenada finds itself in a situation that we have to do borrowing again. This rating right now is going to create problems for us. So we had to pray nothing happen, because we know what has happened with CRIF money under the NDC. Yes, get 100 and something million and it disappear and they say there is no money. Yeah? All your friends driving brand new vehicle that they just buy out of the money that you pay them to do certain things under that. All kind of man become contractor, become environmental engineers, get contract to go in Carriacou and clean up areas. All kind of men become contractors for all kind of reason. Get jobs here in Grenada and in Carriacou due to Hurricane Beryl. Man driving the latest hybrid vehicles, all kind of thing right now. And then that money ain't enough, man. That money ain't enough because your friends probably wanted 2 vehicles instead of 1. And meanwhile, it still have people on the tarpaulin in Carriacou wetting. So you have that situation where Grenada is still in debt distress. Yeah? The report also speaks to external weakness. Yeah? The IMF assessed the external position as weaker than desirable and flags a large current account deficit, around 21% of GDP in 2024. And it speaks as well to the fiscal rule suspension. It's warning this government about the fiscal rule suspension. And therefore, because you have suspended the fiscal rules, the money that automatically government was saving, so let's say every $10 they save, they had put aside $3 or they put aside $2 or so. Let's say every $10, government automatically, straight into savings, $3 used to go. The rule has been suspended, so the whole $10 is available to government now. No money is going into the savings. What that means is that your deposits, the money that you have saved, is going to start to shrink. It means that you're going to end up with less and less and less in your savings. If you're not putting money into your savings, but you're dipping into your savings, you eventually going to run out of money. And that is what the IMF is saying to this government. Because you have suspended the fiscal rules and you're no longer saving that money, let's say the $3 out of the $10, you are putting your country in a situation that your deposits are going to be shrinking, and as your deposits shrink, you are going to find yourself in more financial distress. By the time you look to put money back into it, you're going to be in problems. So the IMF told the government that no later than 2027, the year elections supposed to take place, no later than 2027 that the Grenada government has to return to the fiscal rules. You must return to it. Because all the money that the New National Party left there, and whatever money they may have put in under the fiscal rules between 2022 and when Hurricane Beryl struck in 2024, whatever went in there, that they are done already, and they have not been replenishing, right? And I'm just putting it in the simplest terms here. Me no economic student, right? They're warning them, right? They red flagging off budget and on lending spending. They explicitly warn the off budget and on lending investments sit outside the primary balance rule and should be captured to avoid blind spots. That's the money they're talking about for things like Project Polaris. Because under the fiscal rules, there are certain things that they're doing now with Project Polaris and other projects that they could not do. So they're glad they get the opportunity or the excuse to suspend the fiscal rules so that they could do some of these things. But the IMF is warning, because the fiscal rules are suspended, shouldn't mean that you should go out there borrowing willy-nilly all over the place, because you're going to put your country in a position where you cannot make the debt to GDP ratio that you should be at to be a sustainable economy. And Grenada, when the NDC took over, was at a proper debt to GDP ratio. I'm trying to remember the exact figure. I'll pull it for you in a little while. I have it here. I don't want to say one and add the wrong thing. I want to see the exact thing in front of me. Yeah? So understand what we're saying here. They're going to come to you and say, this IMF report is so excellent. This IMF report is the best thing since sliced bread. Let me see what they say about Project Polaris here. Yeah? Project Polaris borrowing is close to 16% of the GDP, the gross domestic product of Grenada in the year 2024. In other words, they are looking to borrow an amount of money that is equal to the amount of money that Grenada as a country make, 16% of that in the year 2024. They're looking to borrow that amount of money, right? That's dangerous. And that means that you would not achieve the 60% debt to as I mentioned it before, the debt to ratio target that you're supposed to achieve. They also caution about cost overruns and future operating and maintenance costs. In other words, you're going to build Project Polaris. By the time they look to start the project, and the project most likely will have to be built under the NNP, you're going to end up in a situation where material costs, as they are now, have gone up. The CPI, Consumer Price Index, that we are seeing keeps stating significant increases quarter by quarter, year by year, in relation to building material costs. The furnishings and materials, they keep going up. They're not going down at all. You're not seeing any instance of them going down. They're only going up. Right? Which means that what Project Polaris may be projected to cost you now in January of 2026, by the time you get to January 2027, it may have increased by 10, 15, or even 20%, because the cost of material, and you have to pray. You have to go down on your knees and pray in sackcloth and ashes. Flagellate yourselves that we don't have a major hurricane or two pass through the region this year and create any significant damage, as well as hit the southern United States, Florida, Texas, those areas there. We have to pray, because if that happens, it bumps the price of material up, and they don't come back down once they go up. It bumps the price of material up, which is going to make it even more expensive than it would have otherwise progressed on a natural basis. Anyhow you take it, the price is going to increase. But if there are natural disasters, it drives the price of the material up significantly again. You're going to end up in a situation that Project Polaris costs go seriously over. And then it's not just that. You're going to have repairs. You're going to have to do servicing to equipment and other things in the years to come. Once it's a completed project, if it is done, if it's completed, you're going to have all of those things that you have to contend with, which means you have to find some financing mechanism to upkeep it, which means it ain't going to be free. Let me repeat. To those at the back of the class who didn't hear, it ain't going to be free. And the cost going to keep increasing because you have to maintain it. You can't have an MRI unit and it's working today and it's not working tomorrow and it's working next week. You're going to have to spend money to upkeep it. Your x-ray, your blood tests and reagents and all these different things. You're going to have to make sure that those things are there. And we know that this government has not done a good job at that with the present hospital that we have. So we are looking forward to them doing a good job at that with Project Polaris, if they were the ones to be in office during that period of time. But we know they ain't going to be there anyway. The IMF also speaks to non-bank financial system vulnerabilities. In other words, it's warning this government about the credit unions and some of the financing and some of the practices financially of the credit unions and other lending institutions. Like, back in the day, they used to things like Fast Cash and these things. They're warning about those things. Yeah? And also insurance companies. They're warning about the operations of the insurance companies. We know what took place with Clico Bico years ago. So they're warning about the operations of these entities and to be careful to properly vet and manage what is going on with those entities. Hey, good night to you, Giza. Yeah, good night to you. So they are warning about these things and what can take place if one of these things, imagine if a credit union collapse, you know how much millions of dollars Grenadian businesses and individuals will lose? So it's saying to the government, we're seeing some signs there that are not too, we kind of worried about it. Pay attention. Pay attention to what is going on there. Some credit unions may have overextended themselves as far as we are concerned. That's the IMF, eh? So they're saying, be careful. Look at what is taking place with the credit union movement. Look at what is taking place with the various money things. Even MoneyGram, Western Union, all these things. Keep an eye on what is going on in your country with them. Because if one of the credit unions collapse, that's millions of dollars people will lose. Some people may lose their whole life savings, according to the credit union. So it's saying to government, keep an eye on that. Because there are vulnerabilities there that need to be looked at. It's also saying there are gaps institutionally that hamper policy making. In other words, this government is not doing a good job of collecting information, data. Yes, so they have gaps. They have, they're not looking at, for instance, under the CPI, they are not looking at a proper basket of goods that really reflects what Grenadians are going through. Because even though you look at the CPI now, and you see a lot of items that people use there are a lot of other items that people have to use on a daily basis that are not in the basket of goods with the CPI, that the prices have gone way, if they're measuring that, really measuring the CPI using those items, the CPI would be way different. They have to look again at the basket of goods. What the CPI does is they choose items and they look at the price movement in relation to them, and then they calculate the CPI using that. And they're saying, the IMF is saying, you need to relook at that basket of goods, because that basket of goods may not be giving you an accurate enough measure of what is taking place with inflation in your country. So you may be saying inflation is at 1 or 2, and inflation might really be at 8 or 9. So you need to relook at that thing. And also, there's a lot of information that's missing that the IMF is saying they did not get from Grenada, including things like the GDP expenditure, the same CPI and so on. They did not get these things. And as such, they couldn't make a proper assessment of Grenada. And the excuse that they're getting is that Grenada don't have the information. Well, I don't know if the government of Grenada do have it. Probably the government of Guyana have it. So probably IMF check Guyana. Maybe they have it because the government here apparently do have it. Yeah? And they're also saying long-term growth is not a transformational story. Yeah? The IMF is projecting that growth will moderate, it will slow down. And of course it would slow down. Because if you had 10,000 people not working back in 2020, and by the time you get to the end of 2022, you have 5,000 people working, and by the time you get to the end of 2024, you have another 4,000 working and only 1,000 not working. Because businesses have got back up, some businesses have expanded and that sort of thing. It means that growth will slow down because you'll be getting to the point of where your unemployment gets to a reasonable level, not due to anything that they are doing again, but because of how bad it was before. So you're measuring versus that. Because I realize the IMF is speaking a lot here about 2025 and those years. Yeah? So this is the situation with the IMF report. I see a lot of them was jumping up about, oh, we get good IMF report, and they ain't saying, and Cousin George, good IMF report, and we get good IMF report. Oh, you ain't get no good IMF report. That is still Gregory Bowen and Keith Mitchell that getting good IMF report. And the negative parts of the report, for some reason, just have to do with everything that you all doing wrong, and you all are being warned about. In the parliament of this country, in her budget presentation, the leader of His Majesty's opposition, said to you all, be careful with these same things that the IMF is telling you all now. But Sister Emlyn Pierre, I think better you need to go and work with the International Monetary Fund. Because the exact things that she was telling them in her budget presentation for the last 2-3 years, even when she was not opposition leader, the exact same thing is what the IMF is coming back to them and saying, hey, you need to look at these areas. The heavy dependence on CBI money, heavy dependence on it. They were warned, don't depend too heavily on CBI. You're going to find yourself in a problem if you're dependent too heavily on CBI. Because CBI is fickle. Remember at a point in time we had offshore banking? And offshore banking was the rage throughout the Caribbean. But when the larger countries realized that a lot of people were coming down here and saved their money, it's not that offshore banking, anything was corrupt with offshore banking, you know. But a lot of people in the US, etc., decided that, hey, let me avoid taxes and I will bank my money in Grenada, I'll bank my money in these different countries and so on. And then you had a concerted effort by certain agencies to destroy offshore banking. Because literally billions of dollars was coming out of the US and the Canadian and the UK and European economies and ending up in these small islands in the Caribbean. And they decided that can't happen. So they did what they needed to do to destroy offshore banking in the Caribbean region. That is a fact. And anybody that wants to be honest with you would tell you that is what took place. Who want to vex? That is how offshore banking fell apart. It was under constant attack. It wasn't a bad thing. And it's the same thing now you're seeing with CBI. Because some of the people, to avoid taxation in their country, they would become a citizen of St. Lucia or Grenada or Dominica, St. Kitts. And then they would say, well, you can't charge me taxes in this form because I'm a citizen of that country. And utilize that as a means to not pay the level of taxes that they had to pay in the country where they reside. Yeah? So you know those countries go eventually say, nah, we pull away visas. Nah. It's easier for us to pull the visa and make sure that those billions of dollars that these people are getting away with from paying in taxes are paid. It's better we pull the visa and kill the programs in the Caribbean and the other countries, not just in the Caribbean, kill that passport program in various countries. So with that in mind is why you would hear, don't put all your eggs in the CBI basket. That basket could fall. And when the basket fall is like Humpty Dumpty up on a wall, you understand? When you have a great fall, All the king's horses, all the king's men can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So unlike what the Prime Minister is trying to project and saying to people, that CBI, all is well with CBI and CBI could be around and so on, and it's not this and it's not that. There are various reasons that he's being warned that our economy should not depend too heavily on CBI. That you have to diversify the Grenadian economy, not just into tourism and CBI, but you have to diversify into various other areas as well, such as technology. Technology is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. But this government has made no serious, concerted effort to get into technology. They talk about doing coding. Remember there was big announcement, we're going to work with the Grenada Coding Academy, the Caribbean Coding Academy. And we're going to put $2 million, how much $1 million towards it, and we're going to teach coding in all the schools. How much will you hear about that after? If the Coding Academy went ahead and they did any training, in my view, I don't know, probably they do it on their own. But the level that they were speaking about it, having these groups of young people doing coding in the different schools never materialized. And it's in fact, the coding, ladies and gentlemen, is an area where a young person could sit at home in front of their computer, and if they are disciplined enough, could make as much as $4,000 and $6,000 US a month doing coding. Yeah, that's correct. $4,000 and $6,000 just doing coding, sitting down and coding on a daily basis between, let's say they decide they're doing it between 8 and 2. 8 in the morning and 2 o'clock, and then they're doing another session later on because they're home. They can make that and more. And there are people in Grenada right now who know coding, who've been doing that, in case you all don't know. That they make their living primarily from coding. They just sit down and they're doing coding. There are different areas in technology right now, outside of coding. Robotics is very big. We don't see a serious effort by this government to get involved in robotics. But robotics is a significant area, because you're looking at not what exists now, but what is going to exist in the future. And you have to create the mindset, and the NNP understands this. You have to create the mindset where you become the creators and not the consumers. So you can't be the country that people realize in 5 years from now, nobody is going to be going into a bank, because that's what's going to happen. There will be no physical banks. So there'll be no need for tellers in 5 years or 10 years from now. They're already stressing you all out. Why do you think when you go to the bank at 12 o'clock, they remove some of the tellers? Because they want you to do electronic banking. They want you to pull your device and go on to the bank account and pay your bills. They want you to go there and deposit your money into different accounts. So what you have to do, they want you to apply for a loan using this. They want you to get the response. You're not going to see no loan officer, and so they want to have to hire that. You think they want to have to deal with unions. You think they want to have to deal with emotions. The loan officer happen to be your cousin. So the loan officer give you a loan that you're not supposed to get, and you end up defaulting on the loan. They don't want to have to deal with that. So they are moving more and more into AI and into this, the devices that you will be able to do your banking on. Grenlec recently moved their stuff onto that you no longer have to leave your home and go in Grenlec to pay any bill. You could simply sign on the Grenlec platform. You could see a bill for this month. You could see a bill for the last 12 months, how much electricity you use versus how much you had to pay each month. You can make your payment on Grenlec already payment for that one. You can pay your bill online. One time, everything with this. You don't have to go and stand up in Grenlec in any of the offices to make any payments. Flow doing the same thing. Nawasa, you can't pay like that yet. If you have a cooperative bank account, you could pay through your cooperative bank account. You could pay Nawasa, but you don't have to go and stand up in the line again. And that is what so when you don't have to go and stand up in the line, there is no need for that person who is cashing again. And if they used to have 5 before, they're going to reduce it to 3, then to 2, and then to none. because there's no need for it. So we can't be the people who are consuming the technology that does this, and therefore are the ones that we're losing jobs because of it. We have to become the people that are creating the technology. But this government doesn't have an understanding of that. Flowery language is where they are. So they speak about these things in terms of, we're doing some training. And you send a set of children down in TAMCC, tell them you're training them in coding and different things. And after they go down there and they train, then you tell them, after the Canadian government give you the money to pay for the training, you tell the young people when they finish the training that they have to give you back the money. The Canadians give you the money for the training. And then you are telling them they have to pay. And I think it was how much? 14,000. How much it was? How much thousand? A couple thousand. Well, somebody messaged me and remind me of the amount that they was asking these young people who had just finished the training, unemployed, that they had to pay back the money. Wickedness. We cannot continue being the consumers of the technology. And this doesn't just go for Grenada. It goes for St. Lucia, Dominica, Antigua, St. Kitts, all these islands. We have to become the creators of the technology. Drone technology right now, not just for war. We see Ukraine and different places. That's how they fight in war, is drone. But it's also important for agriculture. It's important for search and rescue. It's important for fire suppression. It's important in so many areas that you have drones these days. In media, you have to have drones. Are we going to only be buying drones from other countries, or are we going to be creating as well, where we might end up having the most popular brand here in Grenada that's manufactured here in Grenada that other countries are looking to buy? But the mindset of this government is so much about them and how much they could squeeze the last dollar out of you to maintain the lifestyle that they're living right now, because some of them never see. Some of them never taught. So they always want to jump on a plane. Ask yourself how much of them here in the country right now and how much out. And when they come back, what do they come back with? Nice perfume and thing for their friends and family and themselves and thing and clothes and thing, but they ain't coming back with nothing of substance for the Grenadian people. Because they are bereft of the intelligence and intellect to understand the things that I'm saying to you tonight. They do not know that they have to start looking at information communication technology in that sense, artificial intelligence in that sense, drone technology, and AI in that sense. They do not know that. They are not aware that something that NNP government would know, hey, you need to put in place a farm in Grenada, not an agricultural farm, but you may have to put in a farm, in other words, to store data in Grenada for data mining and those kind of things. You have places out in the bush in Africa making millions of dollars. It's not gold and thing they're mining. You know what they're mining? Bitcoin and thing, data. They have a set of servers in the bush using solar power, using hydro to generate electricity to run the things they have Bitcoin mining and making billions of dollars doing it. We sit down here in Grenada with some people that can't even start an agricultural project. Oh, we're going to be opening in March and so on. Watch Auntie Jenny, you go see what I'm talking about. It's opening in March. March way. Forward march. But not towards socialism, and it's forward march towards stupidity when it comes to them. Yeah? So those are the things. Yes, it was 15,000 that they were asking back for from those young people. Yeah? And look, Sky is telling me here that her granddaughter does coding and makes a lot of money. Yeah. In fact, I would encourage any young person right now, any teenager, to get involved in coding. The call centers are going to close down. I'm not preaching gloom and doom. I'm being realistic. I like to be realistic with you all. You are my listeners. I love you all. I like to be realistic. Those call centers do along again. The United States has placed in their basically we call their parliament. They have placed in there a law that is going to restrict the companies, those US-based companies, from hiring outside of the US. Because if they do, they are going to end up having to pay certain taxes, and they will not be able to benefit from any one of the benefits that the US government is giving. So they are putting themselves into a bad situation. And it means that they will have to start cutting staff with the aim of closing down eventually in these islands, not just Grenada, in Dominica and St. Lucia as well. I'm not too sure if St. Vincent and St. Kitts have, but I know St. Lucia has a lot of call centers, Grenada has a lot of call centers, and Dominica. And they're going to lose those call centers. It will go. And it basically means hundreds, if not thousands of young people. The figure I saw for the entire Caribbean going all the way up to Jamaica was somewhere over 10,000 that are due to lose their jobs because of these things that are being put in place by the US. So we have to understand that and start to put things in place to create other avenues of employment for these young people. So you will see that an NNP government has a more clear strategy of how you deal with these issues than the willy-nilly talk and nothing happen NDC administration. That's all they're doing. Yap. And not the people who are supposed to be yapping that yapping. The ones who yapping are those out there that not even part of cabinet. Have a weekly press conference. Inform the nation of what is going on. They ain't doing that. But yap. And as soon as you say something on social media, or you call a radio program and you say something, they want to cuss you. Find ways. You have the Chinese that are involved in Grenada. They have innovative agricultural techniques that using small plots of land, you can create lots of food. Yeah? So you can start speaking to them along that line. You're speaking about manufacturing and that sort of thing. One of the reasons the New National Party did what it did back in 2016 with the Electricity Act was to get the cost of electricity down so that you can have factories manufacturing, not necessarily manufacturing clothes and things, but food to set up reasonably in Grenada, because you had Mott Green. How did Mott Green die? I'm sorry to have to call his name tonight, but those of you in St. Patrick remember Mr. Mott Green with the Grenada Chocolate Factory. How did Mott Green die? He was electrocuted, setting up his solar panel thing in the factory. Electrocuted. And I remember him calling me on a program I was doing hard talk, calling me and speaking to me about the electricity and what it would cost him if he just had to take electricity from Grenlec alone, that it would have basically shut down his operation. I remember him calling me on a program when he heard me speaking about that electricity cost at that time. Now we're getting back into the same situation again. And this government talks a good talk in relation to solar power, and they go in every forum, all parts of the world in relation to it. But when they come back here, the reality hits all of us that we have bills for $600, $700, and $800 from Grenlec coming to us on a monthly basis now. And our access to solar power is not being made easier. In fact, for big businesses and so on, they are putting things in place right now so that they, utilizing their roof space, will be able to get into solar power. All well and good, nice, bravo. But when it comes to the smaller man there, what is being done to assist? So I'll say all of this to say, when they're speaking about the issues of the IMF and they get good IMF report and all kind of thing, these people don't even know what they're talking about, you know. These people have no idea what they're even talking about. They do not understand. The way I can come to you and I can say clearly, I'm part of an organization that clearly understands these issues, that clearly understands youth development and the reality of the changing tides with youth development every 3 or 4 years, when there's a total change in the mindset, in the way of operation, in the technology, everything with youth development. Back when I started off in youth development was, what do you call this thing? Not tagged, nah? But I can't remember the name of the website. It was things like Black Planet and all these kind of things. Then it's about 2006, 2007, you ended up with YouTube. So YouTube would probably just be making 20 years this year or next year. not YouTube, Facebook. And you ended up with YouTube and all these other means of communicating. And already, what is going to replace YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all these things is already there, you know. It just hasn't taken off as such yet, but it's already there. Because you realize that the middle generations, middle-aged people are who using Facebook and Instagram and so now, and some of the young people to connect. But they're more on TikTok and these sort of things. So the technology is already there, and you have to have that understanding to know to move with the times. Not just to put on sandals and frock and go online. Nah, that is not it. That is not it. All right, folks. Let me take a quick break, man. Yeah, let me take a quick break. Yeah.
I getting fed up, boy, for Grenada to grow.
Yes, folks. It's 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. That means I have to go until 10:30 tonight. But it's Friday night. I ain't going nowhere this hour, and if I'm going anyways later on, yeah. I said I would advise any young person to get involved in coding and AI, or even people who are not young. Even though you're in your 40s, your 50s, it is not as difficult as you think. It's important for you to understand the technology, yeah? Because one of the main problems I have as well is going onto social media these days. I'm always disappointed on a daily basis. And I shouldn't be disappointed because I expect it, but the amount of artificial intelligence slop, nonsense, that's online, and people seeing it and believing it. So they're seeing these things and they can't tell the difference between a real video now of a person actually doing something and a fake video, because AI has gotten that good that it's sometimes, even for me, it's difficult to tell. I have different things I look for. About 2 years ago, you know, you look for if the person have, instead of 5 fingers, they have 7 or 8 fingers. Yeah, so when you see that, you know, okay, that is AI generated, because they used to get that wrong all the time. And the eyes, they used to get the eyes, the way the eyes used to look funny all the time. So it used to be able to look at it quickly and say, I fake. That is in pictures and in video. These days, the technology has improved so much that it even getting that right. I hardly see anything where they have more than the correct number of fingers and the eye looking funny and thing. You seeing some stuff and you're swaying. And that's what some people using to scam people out of their money too. So you're seeing these things and you're thinking, listen, I did a video, and I must bring that video and show you all one of these nights, where I took my video, put it into a program, and had my entire program in German. And you were hearing me speaking perfect German, sprechen Sie Deutsch, speaking perfect German. And that's not me actually speaking German, it's me, my mouth moving, but the program translate everything I said in English, it translated it to German in my voice. That's how good these things are now. You have everything you see on Facebook, Instagram, people send it to you on WhatsApp now. The first question you have to ask yourself is, I wonder if they're real or they're fake. Because that's where it's at right now. It's very difficult for people to be able to tell the real from the fake. So you have to be on your P's and Q's in relation to those things right now. Yeah? Folks, remember officially yesterday, the electoral list is out. We need to confirm. I got some wonderful messages today from some people who check the list. They make sure the whole family there. They make sure everybody there. And one individual who shall remain unnamed, and Listra. Right, nice, yeah. So, who have outstanding matters they need to sort out by next week. Nice, yeah. So we need to check the voters list, because remember, we only have a specific amount of time. Now, here's what could happen here. Let's look at the St. John seat. It's about 10 votes made the difference there. There's the possibility that if the list was not canvassed properly, you may have had 20 or 30 people that vote that should not have voted in St. John. They may have not lived in St. John for the last 30 years, but the name keep appearing there, or they keep going there and registering, but they're not really from there. They should be registered somewhere else. So if the list is canvassed properly and those things are caught, you can have those people removed off of the list and placed where they're supposed to be. Yeah? So you can have them coming out from there. So we need to pay attention to the voters list. The canvassing of the voters list that you do now, the checking of the voters list that you do now, could save you on election day. Not could, but will save you on election day. Because if you do it and you do it properly, Papa, yo, it ain't no beating you. And I've always said it and I'll continue to say it. There's no political party in Grenada or otherwise that will beat an organized new national party. Once the new national party is organized and we get our job done, there's no beating us. And we have a major organizer in our present political leader, the Honorable Emmeline Pierre, and she's ably assisted by another master at organization, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. And that's not to mention the rest of the team. But we have to help them. They can't be saying to us, go and check the voters list and we ain't doing it. They can't be saying, let us go out and canvass a community and you can't find people to go and do it. People ain't showing up to do it, or capable people ain't coming to do it, or those who come to do it not doing it proper. There's a proper way to do it, and of course there's an improper way to do it. So we have to come out and do the work to help. Election night, you don't want to be crying. I never cry election night, you know, win, lose, or I never cry election night. And I ain't intend to cry. I see other people cry. I see people cry tears of joy. I see people cry tears of sorrow. I see other people cry. You understand? I ain't going down that road. Because by election day, I supposed to know how the thing going. I ain't supposed to get no surprises on election day. Neither should you. You should know that we've done our job and we've done our job properly. And as such, when we see 6 o'clock, we could put the drinks on the ice. Because we know we're partying tonight. Yeah? Nice. All right, folks. We're going to take one or two of your calls. Now, they say, the people came out and saved us some Nazim and Tillman, you know. Yeah, they came out and saved us a sheldon. We'll take your calls as we get into another section of the show for tonight. As I said, I'll be going for the next hour, so we're going up until 10:30. Forgot to take my hot tea with me tonight, yeah? And you know, just before I go to that door, I feel it have a video I have somewhere here. I feel I want to play that video first. Just to give people a little, sometimes you have to give people a little reminder. You understand? Where that video go by? Hey. Now pull that video down there.
For 4.5 years, all you have a sentence. Your failure to perform, that is your direction. And I yes, you clean out. People living in doubt. Let me tell you plainly, Tillman, you can't run this country. Oh Lord, put a hand. Save us from Nazim and Tillman. We down on we knees. Rescue us from NBC, please. And we balling. People balling. Poor people suffering. They can't take it again. Oh Lord, save us from Nazim and Tillman. Whoa.
So as I said, we open the phone lines, folks. You can call at this point in time if you would like to do so. It is a Friday night.
Teachers can't sleep in peace. Nurses sent home with ease. No consideration for the poor man. Every day is more lie. We fed up on mama guy. They ain't had no vision. It's like a set of dumb. Oh Lord, put a hand. Save us from Nazim and Tillman. We down on we knees. Rescue us from NBC, please. And we balling. People balling. Poor people suffering. They can't take
Yeah, I think I want to remind you all of what some people say when they're in opposition and them kind of things. Sometimes you have to remind people of what people say when they're in opposition about the IMF and them kind of thing. Yeah, let me hear what you had to say about the IMF.
Doesn't run a country. The World Bank doesn't run a country. They've never done so. The IMF doesn't run a country. The World Bank doesn't run a country. They've never done so. Right? And at the end of the day, saying that you have a good report from the IMF doesn't mean anything if we have significant unemployment, if we have persons who are hungry within our country, if we have children who are not going to school because they do not have access to internet, they do not have access to tablets. And those are the issues we need to talk about, not a report from the IMF ranking.
Okay.
Oh, so that's what we need to speak about. Once again, just remember, that's the now Prime Minister, when he was just opposition leader, well, not even opposition leader, he was the NDC leader. That would have been in early 2022. Yeah, this is him in early 2022.
The IMF doesn't run a country. The World Bank doesn't run a country. The IMF doesn't run a country. The World Bank doesn't run a country. They've never done so. Right? And at the end of the day, saying that you have a good report from the IMF doesn't mean anything if we have significant unemployment, if we have persons who are hungry within our country, if we have children who are not going to school because they do not have access to internet, they do not have access to tablets. And those are the issues we need to talk about, not a report from the IMF ranking.
Yeah, and that's the same people go here talking about the IMF. Talk about the IMF now. Talk about it now. Let the Grenadian people know what aspect of that project had to do anything with all you. Tell us, we want to know. Tell us now what the IMF report had to do with the NDC. And there's not the first, the second, or the third. There's the how much IMF report that really do have nothing much to do with all you. So let me see the first one we're going to go on today. Let me see if I can find the first video. I think I'm going back to the year. I ain't going back that far, man. I'm going back to 2003. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the 2003 election campaign here. Nice. I think we're going in Grenville. Let me go in Grenville online for the 2003 election campaign. Yeah, let me go up there online, man. Let me see who we know in that one day in 2003. Nice. Yeah. Let's go back and see something here. Nice. Right. So we're going back in 2003. And of course, this was a walkabout by the New National Party in the town of Grenville back in the year 2003. You see Sister Lorena Waldron there. And Dr. Mitchell doing something that up to this day he still does, go around and visit the different businesses, yeah? And you know, when the history of Dr. Mitchell is told, these are the things that a lot of folks will remember. His personable nature, his ability to interact with people at all levels, yeah? And to just go out and meet and interact with people. He didn't have to try and spend most of his time outside of the country hiding from people. Yeah? Wait now, Sister Lorena Waldron, like God did carry some boxer t-shirts and give out to the whole of Grenville? Hey.
Yes. You are with back up. No, you are back up in the back. You want to know? You are back up.
Yes, indeed, folks. Again, this would be the 2003 election campaign. A walkabout in the town of Grenville, and as usual, you would have an NDC that try to come in the midst and try and create things. And you know, this is something that you always see from the NNP, but you don't see from the NDC, you know. They lack the ability to do these sort of things and just move around and interact with people and speak with people and so on, yeah? There's always the ability of the New National Party to do that, and in particular Dr. Mitchell to do that. Interact with the business people, the man on the street, the bus drivers, the small business owners, everything. He and his team have always had that ability and always been able to do that. But it seems as though, I think the fellas and them who they now have it, boy. They ain't have it. I can tell you, the sister Emlyn Pierre knows how to do it.
Thank you, fine, thank you. Cool.
And she will not be a stranger if she goes into the town of Grenville now and starts to move around and interact with people. She will not be a stranger, will she?
All right.
Sister Yolan, you're looking like a school girl, Lewy. Last time we showed you the 1999 election campaign with a walkabout in Telescope in Grenville. This time we're back to the big parish again. We're showing you the new National Party team with Dr. Mitchell heading through. AC Major, look here, boy. You're the slim there, boy. The body belly. Yeah, so this was in the year 2003 election campaign at the Old Market. And that's when all the ideas, you have to move the market, you have to improve the market, that kind of thing were coming up. Yeah, so this is the new National Party, specifically St. Andrew team, moving through the town of Grenville and going through the market square. See you know. Because this is, how much years ago, boy? 2003? A lot of years, boy. A lot of years ago, Yeah, a lot of years ago. Nice.
Let go the progress. If you're holding back progress, and you're blocking the progress, and you're stopping the progress, let go the progress. So no matter what they say, NNP is here to stay. NNP on a mission, shining bright like a beacon. Man, the whole wide world could see what they do for the country. So many development, our money is well spent. So despite all the old talk, man, we solid as a rock. Let us keep on moving on for the sake of the nation. If you're holding back progress, and you're blocking the progress, and you stop.
Imagine that's 23 years ago and Dr. Mitchell looking the same.
And you're blocking the progress, and you're stopping the progress. Let go the progress.
23 years ago and Dr. Mitchell looks the same.
Progress, 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 progress.
And just as energetic.
Progress, 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 progress. If you're holding the progress, and you're blocking the progress, and you're stopping the progress, let go the progress. Move, let it move, let the progress continue. I said move. NFP, you are the best, you are better than the rest. So my brother and sister, please don't look any further. When you see it's time to vote, everybody should get note. No if, no but, no maybe. Give your X to NNP. It don't matter where you are, we should all come together. Let us look to the future for the sake of Grenada. So if you're holding back progress, and if you're blocking the progress, and if you're stopping the progress, let go the progress. If you're holding back progress, and you're blocking the progress, and you're stopping the progress, yo! Progress, 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 progress.
You know, and sometimes I watch these things, I wonder how much are these people still around, you know.
Progress, 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 progress. So if you're holding back progress, and you're blocking the progress, and you're stopping the progress, yo, let go the progress. Let it go, let go the progress.
And you see the genuine love and affection that Dr. Keith Mitchell gets when he's out there. And even up to today that he still gets when he's out there. And the NNP team in general, you see Sister Emlyn Pierre, the same thing. I saw one recently of a lady speaking of her and the lady grab her and take her up and going with her in the air, you know. You see that genuine love, not no fake thing. Genuine love and appreciation, that the new National Party has always gotten when we're out there.
Let go the progress, 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 progress.
Who want to come and try it with us in St. Andrew? Well, you could come and try it with us in St. Andrew, you know. We would taught all you a lesson.
Progress, progress. If you're holding back progress, and you're blocking the progress, and you're stopping the progress, let go the progress. If you're holding the progress, and you're blocking the progress, and you're stopping the progress, let go the progress. Progress, 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 progress. If you're holding the progress, and you're stopping the progress, and you're blocking the progress.
Well, you might see a fella there. I don't know if you're going to make him out now.
Progress, 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 progress. Let go the progress, progress.
He always used to be somewhere looking around. You will see him just now.
You don't know, NNP, the way to go.
if all you could tell me who this guy in the back here is, all you good. If all you could tell me who that MAGA fella, face hard with a cap on the bald head, if all you could tell me who that fella is, they all you real good. This is the man who last night stepped away from frontline politics. Yeah? The boss himself, yeah?
Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress.
And see why he's the boss.
Stop it. Don't 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 stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it.
Well, look the MAGA fella there again. Now let me make out who the MAGA fella is now, eh? Nice, right? He too tall. That's what happened to him.
Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it.
Yeah, all you should make him out properly now. All you realize that there's no hair falling down the side of the head and them kind of thing there. You understand? I could actually wear a cap, but I can't wear a cap and thing now. Yeah. That's how he used to look.
Progress. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it.
23 years ago. Selling out my age, but.
Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop.
Hey, stop crying. They does all of that crying when all they're seeing is just stop it. Right. Or some people crying. Stop it.
Stop it. Don't 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 stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop the progress. Don't stop it. 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 The house solid and the pillar strong. Don't stop the progress. We moving on. The house solid and the pillar strong. Don't stop the progress. Take a good look around. The house solid and the pillar.
I say stop crying. Nice, right? Stop crying. Hey, look, my lady. Hey. This child is a big woman right now, you know, Lord.
Don't stop the progress. Take a good look around. NLP, don't waste no time. We throw in and they say in the garbage can. We throw in and they say in the garbage can.
And then,
No, just passing through. I didn't see you on the back of stern.
Okay.
All right, how are you?
Okay,
All right, take care.
brother, keep voice
Coming to you.
I'm buying the road. Brother, keep it right here.
Okay.
Mr. Alwan, okay.
that's the real boss.
All right. I'll say you check me sometime. No, there's no time for bang. There's no time for bang.
Right there,
So that's it? Was that wall? The other side there? What can I do, guys?
You mentioned you think people getting on I don't care.
As I said, that's the real boss, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll go end this one now. Yeah. I think I'll go end this one now. Yeah, nice, beautiful. What all you crying for? Eh? All you crying for? Don't cry. What are you crying for? And the phone lines are open, 1-473-440-737. So you could call. I ain't stop and play the video and them. You could call. But that one is from the year 2003, the 2003 election campaign. Yeah, on that, let me see a look a piece there again, boy. Let me see a look a piece there again, yeah? I feel a real tall, no? Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, just to let you all see a bit of how the thing used to go back in the days, yeah? With the new national party, yeah, man. That thing, it wasn't easy, man. Yeah.
NLP, don't waste no time. We throw in and they say in the garbage can. We throw in.
I'm just queuing up another one for you all right about now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they say in the garbage can. Till boy in the garbage, full of ton in the garbage. Alin in the garbage, Nazim in the garbage, Gilbert in the garbage, Asbat in the garbage, Lambert.
Now, the exact year of the one that I'm about to show, I cannot tell you, but it may have been as early as the year 2000 when the new National Party embarked on skills training. And there was a program that was going on down at the T.A. Marichaud Community College back in, that would have been about 2000, about the year 2000, where these ladies were learning how to do basic construction and electrical and different things like that. And this one goes back to that year about, that would be about 2000. I don't think it will be 1999, so it may be about 2000, 2001 or so that this one goes back to. Because when people say that the new National Party did nothing, these are some of the people who right now may be able to fix something at home, do something at home, and they learned that through a program from the new National Party. In fact, how many of them may have been able to use some of these skills when Hurricane Ivan came along? There may have been some of them that were able to use the skills that they learned during this period of time to at least put something back up together until they could put a proper structure in place. And so this is dating back, it's predating Hurricane Ivan definitely, because sometimes you're transcribing, you're getting things, but you may not get the exact date. So I don't have an exact date on this one because it's old school. Them thing on them on tape, and the tapes are starting to degrade. And as such, I have to kind of speed up getting them digital. Yeah, so I have been doing that on a daily basis, nightly basis, digitizing as much as possible. But this was the skills training program under the new National Party that was taking place at that point in time down at the TAMCC, where the ladies went in and they were learning some different skills in relation to carpentry and so on. Yeah, nice. That was one of the things that was taking. And you realize it's only ladies' days. There are men showing them. But it's ladies that down there learning how to do things, eh? Nice, beautiful.
Wait, no, we're talking about Till boy. Don't worry about that. Space man, what do you do?
Yes, indeed, folks, yeah.
Garbage, John Parcel in the garbage. They feel that we stupid. We don't man we cannot see. It's meant from the RNC that want to come back and rule we. We telling them loud and plain. We ain't jumping foot again. We don't want no hijackers to hijack Grenada again.
And you must understand, if this is some of these things are 23, 24, 25 years ago, you must understand the ignorance of the people who are out there saying NNP hasn't done anything. And many of them are young people who not even 23, 24, and 25 years old, because they were not around. They don't know that all these things took place under the NNP and provided opportunities for many people. Eh?
Even our blind man could see that NNP working for we. We don't want no hooligans to suffer with future plans. So let we take NDC and show them in perseverance.
And that's just one of the many programs that were taking place during those periods of time with the ladies and so on, showing them how to do different things. Let me pull it back up some again. Showing them how to do different things. Yeah? Nice. I think I want this one play instead, man. Nice, yeah.
For there is a wind of change, it blowing through the Spice Island.
Listen to the people, Mr. PM. Don't play with the Canadian people, because the winners.
And I don't know the people who in that. You go tell them they on Sheldon program. I don't know these people. Wasn't me that was taping them thing back in those days. I was not at the particular entity at that point in time. I was working elsewhere. Yeah.
It's like all yet the fan can't hear that still. Still waiting for one project to take off. Like it's only Nazim how them could start. But prepare yourself and bang your belly. Cause the wind turn run heading back for we. So I said the wind of change, it blowing in the next direction. Man, the wind of change, it blowing back where he came from. Hear the people out on the streets. We want kids, we want kids. Man, they say they're tired, they can't take it. We want kids, we want kids. Man, the country balling it sick. We want kids, we want kids. So they need a doctor to come fix it. We want kids, we want kids. Hear the young men out on the block. Man, they say they're tired of the old talk.
And we will always have Keita, so we don't have to want him, and we'll always have him. Yeah, he says he will be there with us, so we know that we will always have him with us. So we had to Sheldon, worry yourself, man. Yeah. He will always be there with us. You know, the Honorable Emlyn Pierce said something last night, and I want you all to make sure and carry that message. That first they said that the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell would not step down as political leader of the New National Party. He stepped down as political leader of the New National Party. Then they said he would not step down as leader of His Majesty's opposition in Parliament. He stepped down as leader of His Majesty's opposition in Parliament. Then they said, oh, he only using the present political leader. He want to come back as Prime Minister, and when he ready, he coming back and take over his party. And he ain't stepping down, and he's stepping away, and so on. And he, to his word, has stepped away from being elected again to the Parliament of Grenada in any form or format. He has stepped away from that. And as such, we now have Mr. Dr. Adrian Joseph. Yeah, Dr. Adrian Joseph, who is the constituency caretaker on behalf of the New National Party in the St. George Northwest constituency. Yeah, so this is the first time since the year 1984, the first time since the creation of the New National Party, that we have someone new as a caretaker in that constituency. We've had change in every other constituency on the island except that one. So this last night was indeed historic. And the man who stepped aside from that position last night, who will still be there to help, who will still be there to work along with all of us and assist the New National Party in other capacities. Yeah, he's the man that was behind all of these kind of things that you see taking place here. Well, ladies, back in the early 2000s, got the opportunities to learn some skills. Yeah? So this thing is roughly, 23, 24 years ago. Could be as much as 26 or 27 years ago. I don't have as I said, I don't have the exact date on this particular one. All right? Yeah. So let me see if I could find something else there for you tonight, man. Yeah, we are all kind of thing. Yeah. We finding all kind of thing. Yeah, all I think was only them kind of thing they're learning. Yeah, the NNP in skills training was also training young people back in that time in these areas. Yeah?
You take off the circuit, you take out the bar resistance from it, you put it at the two end, somebody put it in. Look, somebody. Put it at the two end, the whole, whole one then. And first of all, look at the value here. It's brown, that one is brown, orange, brown, green, and brown. So we expect how much here?
And some of the guys who learn these skills, they're in the US right now, they're in Canada right now, they're in different places right now, who gain these skills through programs that was set up by the new National Party. So when you have people come in and trying to give the impression NNP never do nothing, you have to tell them go to hell. All of these were successful programs. You had skills training and then you followed on with the Imani program. All of these were things that took place under the new National Party.
You said the meter is man-made and all that. Okay. Right. Now, somebody don't just look at the man, take one and measure it. You have one here. Put this thing on resistance and take a resistance measure.
And we have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Camille Teresa Scott, how are you doing tonight, my love?
Yeah. I there lie down.
All right, my dear.
I watching you showing where some woman doing trading.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years because I know these people, They from Guam, from Granby.
I can't tell you.
Some
I can't tell you.
They from Granby. I know some of them is my good friends.
Okay.
Some from Guam, from Granby, and these old people know. Yes. Yeah.
Don't drop it so.
No disrespect, but I'm telling you, I know them personally, my good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a lot of years. Yeah.
Yeah, these things
But
are 20-something years ago. It's over 20
and now
for sure.
I tell you this morning when I called the program, that has hurt me. I was getting real angry. I get upset when they say Dr. Michelin do nothing. Grenadians, Grenadians take them out. I hear them with my ears and say that man don't do nothing. I remember, Mr. Scott, when I came back from America, and I go to the man and I tell the man, I come back from America, I don't have money. Just so you know, I say I don't have money, so I just need a house spot. And he called me, say, Campbell is a deceit now, may God make peace with the soul. The same day I went, he called me, say, Campbell, just Campbell. And he tell me he don't have no land in Grand Hands. He said, I don't have nothing in Grand Hands. The only place you will get somewhere is in Busheju. And I get me house spot, I have pineapple on it now. I have zabuka, or we just call pear. I have coconut. I have soursop. I have burger, I have pig. I have plantain. I have breadfruit.
Wait, you have a farm?
Seasoning pepper. I make a dashing sweet potato. That what can you I don't know? Think that I plant around the lot 9. I plant on it, I get tire. I put more than I plant on make a seasoning inside the tire. I hardly have to buy okra. It buried some of them get hard. Look I cut down and I plant over right now. I'm sorry that the ground now. Time I don't have to cut it, my cut it Sunday in New Zealand. And they said the man he do nothing. And here, where we living here, was Briar Big Stone, real Big Stone and Briar. Was a little track. The main road was on the other side. And the main coming in. But I used to pass where they know he trade there and he built a nice road. They say you do nothing. When people sick on the hill, no bus, no truck, nothing, could not go up, no ambulance. one thing, I think it was on one of your program, or one of them program they was on, and I said, look, if somebody sick, nothing can come up fire. He said, don't worry, Cammy. We're going to get that done. When I did the terminal one morning, a guy in England, no, cousin of mine, Ronnie said, hey, Miss Cammy, you call and you telling the man about the one that to figure out. You can see a big thing up there digging, grading. They grade up all the big stone. Now we have how much house. Who never would I want to live in Bushes, you living up there. The kind of people that living up there, they already Chinese bill now. They make a little wrongs about that. They made road, everybody passing. And all you have is belly and the guts to say they do nothing. And a lot of them is ungrateful people in Bushes and in that village up there. Wait, what did you? Big house. Up to last night, he talk about they used to build houses and stone in Britain. And he said, when you see, look how much nice houses now. And it's in fact. People could talk about that. People that used to come from Success, Victoria, go and coming down. And they know people in Britain used to live. And now that you in that room, everybody up there can know. And you say they do nothing. You see how you put cost on your own country. A lot of you put cost on Grenada, you know. A lot of you put cost on Grenada. God don't like that. Papa God don't like what all you say. 40 years. That man give up everything he have and come back. He could have stayed in America and make US dollar, you know. And he could have come in all in Grenada and change it and come here and make billions of dollars and just sit back and stretch his foot. He made that sacrifice. He take parents ask him crazy. If he mad, if he when I professor in the university, ask him if he losing his mind. I say that man don't do nothing. He sent a lot of you children to school. He sent them all in university. He gave all the scholarship under his time.
Can we hold 1 second for me, folks? Just remember we're going up until 10:30. We're going up and we're not cutting off now. We're going till 10:30. Go ahead, Cammy. No, I said go ahead.
He sent some all you children in university. He helped all you. I know of a woman had her husband and just leave that man because of abuse. And he rent a house and put that woman in that house. For more than 2 years after his pocket, he said she living up there. Oh my God, up there now. And he said they do nothing. I mean, my God, you mightn't like him. You mightn't like him. But at least you could say, well, I know, I didn't like him, no, but he did something for us in Grenada. He helped me. You could say 99% of Grenadians get a piece of board. They get a galvanized. They get a window on the NNT. And NNT time. Look at the nice road we have. Some people that never want to come and live in Busheju. Now they're fighting. People fighting to come up here and live. People that would never want to live up here, living on the hill. And I'm going to say, well, where do you ask? Excuse me. Where these people and them come out? Where these kind of people come out? All kind of Mexican, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, Guyanese, Jamaican. They can't speak English. I ain't telling you no lie. Up here they living. I said, he do. Guy, do for me. I don't care who the hell, excuse me, want to say, Charlie singing. I won't lie. I know where I was and I know where I come out and where I eat today. Because I helping people now. I helping people when I pick bread so and I go down to sell. I sell it as long as I make me boss say, I give the rest away. A little bad mind. A little bad mind. And I have to go and in sackcloth and ash and say, God forgive me for the things that I say about Kit Mitchell. Because he did a lot for me and my children and family and friends. I don't care what all you see. I can't wait for when Dick Mitchell as the Prime Minister of this country call the election to go and shove my finger down in him I can't wait.
Yeah,
And
my finger itching already for the ink and ready for
Yes,
it.
I'm proud. I'm
Ready.
a proud Grenadian. A proud Grenadian. I leave America and I came back. And I start all over. All over. I leave Grenada and I went with that dream in America to get something things. And when I see how they struggle, I decided, let me come home. Let me come home. I see my fellow people from Grenada who could have helped me. And they refused. They help other people from different countries. And I come back and I start all over Mr. Scott with a cat and a cooler box. I push all on the customs and make me drinks. And I start all over. And I thank God. I thank God. Mr. Roland Ben I always say good morning to her. I don't hear her now, but I know that is a lady that used to buy all my sugar cake when I go through the ministry. At that time she was in what ministry was in again?
I know she was in housing at a time, she was in tourism at a different time.
No,
she was in women and gender affairs. I think that was the first place was women and gender affairs.
One of the ministry. Yeah, she was on the first floor in the complex. When I go there with me little tray, with all my fudge, pink and white fudge and tambra malt, she buying all and give all this stuff. And these people help me. They help me, Camille, and where I is today. Me alone in the place. When son take me on one side, I go on the other side next veranda. And I must speak about Kit Mitchell and the NNP government. They did for me, and I see they did it for a lot of my neighbors and friends that I know. And they could say, what do you want? Watch, it's only because I respect for some of y'all, I don't put water on that them radio station and all, and call somebody name. And if Papa God was like, man, he'd have take out every window and every block on our house. He'd have take back everything, all the scholarship, he help all the children. And that was their job, to help people. And it's not only NNT supporters, they help everybody. Not everybody who could get to work with government, but when you go on a morning in the house where he's staying there, we used to line up. You see people from Grenville, I could remember this is African teller. So then when I go up there in the morning, African teller and them get number 1 ticket going in. Everybody, they go down and see the doctor. They go in the house in the veranda. The man sit down in the little short pants. And as you go, you tell him your problem. Everybody coming back, down they take bus from up here and go to the market and make them market. And these are people that I see married men up to now, and not them is still support all this. People used to meet up one another day. We never pour their money, we didn't have feeling from Kit Mitchell though. Everybody had a problem. And the man giving you a chance to go and make your market Saturday morning, and I say you don't do nothing for you. Are you ungrateful? And ungrateful worse than over as black old people say. That's why you have to suffer today. Anyhow, I want to say good night to Dr. Mitchell, wherever he is. You and your friend, good night. And stay young and nice. You look nice. I love to see you. I love to see you, sir.
You see the man 23 years ago, and the man looking the same.
Leave the man alone, like he's the young brother. The young brother and Kubali fish. No butter. Young brother. Yes, leave him. He's the man.
All right,
yeah.
Gabby, you have a good
That's
one.
why you have a lot of all your bouncing up by your house. Stress that you have. Yeah. Anyhow,
Gabby, we got to talk again. Yes, I'm laughing again.
Good night, Pat. Patty, let me tell Patty good night.
Go ahead.
Good night, Patricia and Matthew. Good night. I love you all. Always very close to my heart. And Mr. Watts, good night, sir. And your wife. And everybody who listening to the voice of Miss Camille, good night. I love you all. I love Grenada. I love you all. But I just don't like the things I little say about them. Good night, Mr. Peter David. I'm not telling me this morning I mustn't call Peter David name. That's my friend. He don't want me for friend, but he's my friend. Have a good night. I love you. And have a blessed weekend.
All right.
And Sheldon Scott,
Yes, sir.
do not eat and drink from people.
Can me a cooking home?
I warning you.
I'm cooking home. When I
I warning
know
you.
where to go.
All right.
Okay, buddy.
Later.
All right, later. I cooking home. When I can't cook home, I go where I know I'm safe. But other than that, I cooking home. And folks, you know, sometimes I see some of these videos and it brings a certain level of sadness. And I'll tell you why. It brings a certain level of sadness because I know when it comes to especially youth development, and you all know, when it comes to youth, that was my thing. Under Sister Emlyn Pierre. And when it comes to that, I know of all the work that was done in relation to youth, and to see the situation now where you don't have a lot of these things taking place. There was we had like environmental projects where for a weekend. So like it used to run sometimes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Friday, Saturday, and some people would say come by them on a Sunday. And we would have young people involved in projects, environmental projects throughout the island, or youth education programs where young people were educating other young people about sexually transmitted diseases, about drug use, drug and alcohol use, and so on, sexual abuse, all these different things. So we had these things from the schools, we had these things taking place with the community groups, and so ask yourself where they are now. The people who say they're young and who say they know about these things, ask them where things like these are right now. Let me just show you all some of the stuff. This just this would be about 1 day, 2 days, yeah. And for some reason, I don't know why I'm not getting the audio on this particular one. Yeah. Let me pull and see if I get the audio, or if it was. Oh, I think I had a problem with the audio on that one, yeah. And I think that's my good friend there, this St. Mary's. Oh, God, and I didn't get the audio there, did I? I probably didn't get it directly, but I've gotten the audio on another device that I would use at that point in time. Madam Seed. I know you that day, Madam Seed. Hey, Madam Seed? I'm sure that's Madam Seed that day, man. St. Mary's RC Readers Club. Yeah, that was one of the projects that we had there. Let me speed up a bit and let me see what we're going through there. Nice. We'll go back a bit right now. We gotta come forward. Yeah, that's don't be surprised you see Sister Kate Skeeter Lewis there, because I know she was there with her group in Paradise Junction there when they were doing this project. So this would be roughly 2006 or 2007, yeah. So this will be one of the environmental projects over Global Youth Service Weekend that we had back in 2006 or 2007. The problem you would have is if you see Sister Kate Skeeter Lewis, they wouldn't know it's her. Eh? Yeah. Look at my girl over there. She could deal with me on that one. Yeah, when they see the Maga girl pass across, they wouldn't realize it. The short Maga girl just pass across, you wouldn't realize it's her. But she's there as well. And she was always involved in these projects and so on. Yeah, my good brother, not to come and get trouble. Eh? You just had to come and get trouble, boy. You know, no behavior.
Drink, hey, drinking it. We're walking out drinking.
So that was one of the projects there, and I'm gonna just kind of dip through. In between Tito, there's some of your people, Tito. Yeah, Tito, there's some of your people there, ain't it? Yeah, this is, I think, Telescope Group now. Yeah, let me hear what Nikki had to say there. Nikki! You see, now every time I use the mic there, the mic wasn't coming through, boy. So that means I had a problem with the mic back then. Nikki! Yeah, seeing you, but I can't hear you, girl. But that was another environmental project that a group of young people did there. And this one would be where? St. Patrick? This is St. Patrick already? I think this may have been up in St. Patrick.
What are you looking
I mean, I didn't have the mic was not working when I did this project, so probably each interview would not come across. Yeah, but I think this one was up. Yeah, this is up in St. Patrick. Yeah, I remembered correctly. From St. Andrew over to St. Patrick, we had to move right around. Sister Emlyn Pierre used to rail work us. If it's one thing, she used to work us. Anyone who worked with her as staff in the Ministry of Youth, especially during that period prior to 2008, can tell you, yeah, that the amount of work that we had to do in various parts of the country. Yeah, she didn't used to joke around with that. And she's still that type of organizer to be able to get basically hundreds of young people throughout the island involved in these kind of activities, positive activities. You see them, that they were doing the cleaning and so on of the different communities and doing the work to clean up their different communities and so on. Yeah, imagine I do all them interview and none of them, no audio in none of them, you know. Papa, yo. This would be Hope Beach. Yeah, Hope Beach. That would have been my youth group. Yeah, I think that was my youth group. Yeah. Put up the changing room, etc. on Hope Beach. So that would be, yeah, that would be the youth group that Sister Emlyn Pierre had founded. Yeah, Spice Youth Promotion. So Spice Youth, yeah. A little cooking up pale out there. So that would have been the group that Spice Youth Promotion, when we were doing that project there on Hope Beach, the changing room and no mandate that day. No, yeah, doing the changing room and some benches and so on that were done back in those days on Hope Beach as part of a project, and then to level out the road going in, and yeah, as soon as I say that, yes, to end up on that, right? Yeah, to level out the road and different things that the youth group did as a project. Yeah, not waiting on government to do it, nothing, but the youth group came in and did these types of projects. Yeah, so when they one day, you have to ask yourself, where was Deacon Mitchell during this point in time? Myself and himself, we are around the same age. I may just be about a year older than him. When we as young people were out there doing these kind of projects, where was he? Yeah, he could have been involved as well, but he wasn't bothering with these kind of things. It's only now you're looking to be the Prime Minister of Grenada and think all of a sudden, you know, to get involved in different things. But this is where we were. In fact, I would not be surprised that this little child there is Honorable Emlyn Pierre's eldest son. I would not be surprised if it wasn't him that was there. Because he used to be on all them things. Yeah, but this was a project that was done there. Yeah, boy. Don't worry, I ain't get your audio there, boy. That microphone was a setup. This would be, boy, not easy to remember. I think some 20 years ago. This would be Hermitage, St. Patrick, where there was a cleanup project where the young people did. I think that was at the playing field. I think this one is Hermitage. I definitely believe it's St. Patrick, but I think that would be Hermitage. And so, yeah, I think that's Hermitage that this particular one took place at, yeah? So, yeah, I think this is Hermitage. And this is not Hermitage. This is another part of St. Patrick. They're trying to remember where the Carib Stone is. You all know where the Carib Stone is. Yeah, where they did a cleanup around the Carib Stone, and so folks would be able to see the markings and so on it properly. And so, yeah, just the name of the exact location. Somebody messaged me the name. I can't remember the exact name of that oh, I missed a call. Yeah, I can't remember the name of that exact location, but it's where it has this Carib Stone. Yeah, that's down at the side of the road there. Yeah, if you're passing, you ain't gonna know it there. And I think this is back in Paradise again. Probably as you're coming around, we took another set of videos in that particular area. Yeah, young people positively involved in things. Yeah.
And we want to give them, you know, a good impression. We want to tell them, okay, welcome to Paradise. This is our, you know, what we have to offer, basically.
At least we get this one.
We want to also, for the tourism part of it, we want to put up signs, saying here, okay, this is direction to Simon, the direction to Lakabeke, Lafayette, and to Bathway, because basically people reach here and they ask the question, where is Bathway? Where do I go to Bathway? That's for the tourists.
And they did do those different things, yeah. All of these, because of the work of Sister Emmeline Pierre. All of that because of the work of Sister Emmeline Pierre, right? That wasn't just wild. That was Sister Emmeline Pierre guided the process to have those things taking place on a yearly basis. We had Global Youth Service Weekend. I think we have a call on the line. Hello, good night. Caller, your phone is muted. We're not hearing what you're saying. Your phone is muted. Hello? Your phone is muted, so we're not hearing what you're saying.
No one, oh,
we're hearing you now. Your phone is, yeah, you're okay now. We're hearing you. Go right ahead.
You called me back?
Yes, I call you back. I see somebody call. I wasn't sure it's you, but I call back.
Okay, listen, sorry.
But
I cut off. What happened? I saw earlier on your study program, you said to donate some money for the program. But you I don't know nothing about online how to do that.
That was okay for you. I'll put it up again, but that one is okay.
Listen to me before you go. What you could do when you pass, I don't know how to operate this thing online. First, I'm going to give you $20 because you said that for the program.
Yes, for the program.
So whenever you pass, I will donate that $20 because I always on that program. I don't want it to be off. You say you want to put it back on the radio.
Yes, that is the aim, to get back on radio as well and to maintain what we have now.
Right, tomorrow when I sell coconut, that money is for the program.
All right,
and I want to say good night to Miss Sylvester, the lady who spoke to her that was by me.
Yes.
That living by Grenada there. Good night, Miss Sylvester. I love you.
And we had to say hello to
Anne-Marie Show.
Yeah.
In Grand Ride. Anne-Marie Show.
Yes.
Good night to you, cause this is a lady that trained that man that endorsed last night, He worked under Anne-Marie Show. That time I was a cleaner in the ministry. You hear me?
Yeah.
Anne-Marie Show. He trained under that lady. When he went to work there, he went in like a driver. Look what he did today. So young people take off stage. Yeah, and Mary from Grand Ride, St. John's. Good night, gods.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Kabi.
And I'm glad, Sheldon, you're a very intelligent young man. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Right. Okay,
you can't do nothing. You have it. God bless you. With that.
Don't worry, man. Scott is a Scott. All right, my love. Later.
Thank you, my love. I'm watching all them videos.
Yes. You have to show them. All right.
You have all your facts. They can't don't bother with doom. Good night.
All right, Kabi. Yes, folks, Kabi is out the building. Yeah, this one, I believe, this is a group in St. David, if I remember correctly. I'll be able to, yes, the Vigorous Youth Group. I remember this youth group always used to have different activity. Vigorous Youth Group, I think, is what they used to call themselves. And they always used to participate in the different youth activities we have, and not just participate, they used to win too, Yeah, they used to win in different categories, and so too the Vigorous Youth Group. This short lady there, I know she used to always be up front of that group. Yeah, she used to lead that group, if I remember correctly. Let me see if I skip through a bit.
Trying to make the community look bright and beautiful. Trying to alleviate a lot of the garbage that is piled up in the drain. Basically, that is it for the day.
Short girl, you might have to start back up the Vigorous Youth Group,
We chose this project because when rain falls, the drains tend to block up and it helps create problem. The water run in the street and it helps create problem for vehicles passing.
What do you think about National Youth Service Day? Today is the third day of National Youth Service Day, the second one for the year. What do you think about National Youth Service Day and getting young people involved in their communities?
Well, I think it's a wonderful idea, and hopefully we will, as long as the group maintain the standard, we will continue being a part of National Youth Service Day. This is our second competition. We had won the first one, and we hopefully we looking to top the second one. I think for my group, I think it's helped the youths to be together as one. We learn to work together, how to communicate, how to keep the community clean, and most of all we try to get the people in the community involved to come out and help us clean.
And we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hello, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
All
Good
right.
enough to survive.
All right, my dear. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was listening. I listened to you earlier, and then you was talking about the different things they said when kids say you're stepping down and you come out of, and what they, the new one they're running now. And trust me, it does amaze me to see how many people say sometimes I'm gonna have children through the school private school and I'm teaching them, because I don't know what them teachers and could be teaching them. These are the people that I'm not saying, is the talk out of, we and that's Adrian Joseph. They say now he go give Adrian Joseph the leadership, and then he go to Emily Pierre, so they don't get through it.
NNP does,
everything they say.
NNP does never have leadership vacuum. Everybody know who is the leader, and we support our leader. Not 100%, 500%.
He giving her that to just think, going back and run and take it from her. He just giving her that tickling people's head and make them people feel yes, that a history of coming.
I know that Grenadians are intelligent enough to know not to bother with them and that nonsense, because again,
but when
we have to be careful in helping them to spread those things as well.
No. I just can't
I understand
how they going. Yeah, doing all the different things. So when these haters, and when they can't get their way and they can't get no other way, they're trying to to divert people's attention, to divert people from the real issues. But I understand them already too, because I realize every step they take is just down negative. But you go flam back on them anyway. But I'm surprised with some of the people, you hear saying that. Well, I don't just ignore them too. I don't even listen to them,
Well, the thing is, I'm not surprised, because I expect certain things from certain people.
Yeah.
So
but you expect something from other people
to surprise me.
Certain people are doing certain work and they're dealing with, the children, the young children that coming up. What you teaching these children and them when you have these kind of mentalities? Teaching people to hate, little children to hate and all this kind of thing. And them. I always say when I realize sending these people had a problem, some of them, not everybody, with this kind of disunity, but they can come and make the gap wide down. When I see what going for the Christmas Day, boy, I say, these people are them making it look as if, no. Another thing again, they was talking about who come in politics, who don't know about politics, and who don't do anything and them kind of thing. But coming to him, he just coming politics. He don't know nothing about politics. He never was in no part of politics, not even going to have somebody meeting, And he just come and Grenadian get him, he become prime minister, because I don't know if he died or what. And it's like saying there is good thing, some of them think best things since sliced bread, But what amazed me, they're talking about people who know not now, just coming to jump into politics. Who could refer to in that?
If it's anybody that don't not just jump in politics, it's the whole cabinet of the NDC. You can't be talking on the NNP side.
They're talking about it. Because
read what I say. They can't be talking about NNP side. They're talking about their own people.
I know.
Yeah.
But from my point of view, I live in St. Louis for all my years. I work in town and I stay like a while in Montreal and everything. But when I look at them, 30-something years, I never see this man. I never knew this man existing in Grenada. It's only when Grenlec, when he make Grenada pay $1 million more for Grenlec, and then with the school of meds workers, that way I hear this man named calling and come up St. Davis, and he never used to be coming up St. Davis.
Well,
he never represent nobody.
I've known him since 1996, but that is true.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know everybody too, so.
Yeah, I know him as a little boy because I remember him as a young person around 10, 11, and after that, he passed common entrance and he went to school in town. And it's like, you never heard about this person in St. David's at all.
Listen,
because, yes, the family was...
We ain't going on waste we program on he. Let them NDC and them talk about he on their program. We're going on waste we program on he, we done.
Yeah, but they must know he ain't do nothing. That
is what we making them know. He ain't do nothing. Because I watching sister Emlyn Pierre about 20 years ago in a hat here with a bunch of young people as usual. And you could tell just the smile you see and you know it's sister Emlyn Pierre. With this group of young people, again, always having young people involved in some sort of positive activity.
Well, not now. I mean, I listen to them program and them and Emlyn Pierre with all this program and them.
Remember when she used to have a program on CC6 TV? She used to have a talk show. That would be back in the early 2000s. She had a talk show on CC Channel 6.
She used to be on this program with them youths and them.
But that's what I'm talking about on CC6, that television program. I just can't remember the name of it right now, but it used to be on Community Channel 6.
That's what I'm trying to remember the name too. Yeah. And I used to always listen. That was always positive vibes from day one, But we with the first female prime minister, no doubt about it.
And as you can see from this video, she's a leader. She has always been a leader. She has always been an organizer. It's not somebody that just appeared. It is someone who has been there, working with young people, working for young people, working for Grenada from ever since. It is not. She ain't no just come. She been there long.
I have a list here. And looking at a well solid as you and a middle Mrs. Study.
Yeah.
Solid as nobody can tell her nothing. You don't give a
my time nearly up, so I had to run out.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, but
so have a good night.
All right, same to you. All right.
Have a good night.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yes, Sister Emlyn Pierre, just come. You understand? Yeah, she did long.
We must get married.
I didn't see the work she had young fellas doing and so back in the days. She had the young people working, huh? Yeah.
We moving on.
I think this would be in what? Marquis Subi is one of those areas there, yeah?
Nobody can stop us now. We on the move and ain't nobody can stop us now.
And this definitely had to be 2006, 2007, somewhere around there, yeah? Yeah, definitely.
How are you just wave them? Well, NNP and Sunday movements, definitely. What's the big stadium number? Believe me, with not to mention the roads.
To come out and do activities together, which I think is a positive step, by the Department of Youth Development.
All right, we have a hardworking young lady, Senator the Honorable Emlyn Pierre, who is our youth minister.
Mr. Behari.
She's also from St. Andrews, and you're from St. Andrews. What do you think with the level of work she's been doing with the youth of, among the nation? What's your intake about that?
I mean, it's past somebody's normal work. You understand? Because she does her best with everybody, not only with young people, but she will speak for the elders also. I mean, her work, everything she does is just beyond, beyond anything that anybody had ever done for St. Andrews before. So I would tell her to continue to do the good thing that she's doing, because she's doing something really great. So we all proud to have her as part of St. Andrews Southeast.
All right, and
Adana, eh? Yes, we have a caller online. Hello, good night. Well, me and bother with the time, when I done. Good night. Yes, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hey.
Yeah, Sheldon, this program tonight is a very, very good program. The way you bring back our memories, people who don't really know what's taking place. There's a lot of people who wasn't told because the younger people wouldn't know what really take place and how NMP used to operate with the youths. They don't see that activities taking place now. So there's like they miss out a lot of things, but even though they wasn't there. And they could see the benefit because some of the people, the interview with some of the young people in the constituency at the time, they was very proud and speaking brave and everything. Now, all you see now with the young people, they by the gambling house gambling and doing all kind of things, all kind of wrong things. The young, especially the young men, if you come around certain areas like Grenada, Happy Hill, everything just changed. The young people just gambling, they don't have no activity, nobody was there to steer them. Sometimes the parents and them can steer them everything, but if you have a leader or somebody to have program, pay people to have program to keep the youth, in a position, things will work out better in Grenada. You can look at what the Prime Minister said on the program last time. You don't have no people to do any job in Grenada. Like you don't have nobody to work. You have people to work. But this is the program the government had to start doing so people could learn something and get a job. But you go down, you go in Ghana, you go in Africa, and get nurses.
Where you could train, you could go in the communities and find some young people and train them to be nurses.
Exactly, and train them.
Go Ghana.
Just imagine the police only getting 3 weeks or 3 months or whatsoever to do policing. And when they come outside, they want to chat you for nothing. You don't even have the idea what is taking place. You understand? The police don't know how to deal with people. The young police don't know how to deal with people. They don't know how to interact with people. And this country, they're not, that, be honest with you, Sheldon, I 57 years. And I follow LNP from since I was young. And before my mother died, say, watch out, stay with the LNP. I always say that. And the thing about it is like, this country ain't a mess. Honestly, nobody go taking care of nobody, especially the youth. Even our them teachers and them do they go and work for the money. If they get a salary and that is it. Teacher, before teacher used to, if you lose a pencil, the teacher might take $1 in his pocket, and give you to go and get a pencil. That don't happen again. Everything just squash. Because cost of living is so high that they don't want to spend that kind of money. At $20 to give a child to do something now. Sheldon, $30 for a lunch now. $30 and $25 for a lunch. I don't tell you they say.
A cooking home. And I'm actually showing some of the video that I'm showing while you're speaking there. I just want folks to know it's part of the health fair that Sister Emmeline Pierre had back then. She had the health walk followed. Hold on. She had a health walk followed by a health fair. So what you're seeing on screen, folks, is the health walk followed by the health fair. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So I want to also contribute. Well, I'm a member of NMP. I pay $5 every month or whatsoever. I don't pay it like that. I don't want to pay $5. So when I might pay a $40 or $50. Understand? I have a strong bone NMP. I don't fake him nothing. I don't have time to fake. Look at yesterday, I went up in a meeting and people telling me what I'm doing here and friendly fire. I said, friendly fire what? I said, you have a woman in Carriacou walking in the parliamentary office, she big and this jersey, they didn't fire. They didn't even move her. So they will fire me. They're making people frightened because I asked a lady yesterday, I said, where is that? She tell me, oh, she walking with. Because you see, they're frightening, threatening people. So then people are afraid and they're scared. But I'm not scared.
We can't be
because
scared.
I know
But my brother,
I'm scared.
I had to cut you because I passed the time that I say I go be on, and I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
show.
I was listening.
I want to
I
show.
was listening to you.
I want to show one more thing before I cut off tonight. All right, my brother.
I was listening from Sister Grana's coming up, and I happened to reach home, and I said, "I'll call you." All right, thank
That's
you.
good. All right, my brother. Thanks. Yes, indeed, folks. Just one more thing I'm going to play before I end it tonight. Yeah, because when it's nice, you see, yeah, one more thing I will do before I end it tonight. Yeah, let me see if I could. Let me see if I will get this to play, boy. That will play? Yeah, man.
We are building them for destruction. Only recently I had a case not very far from here where a mother stopped me and she said her daughter wanted to...
All you see the child.
And I asked her, I said, did she ever apply? And she said it wasn't fair because she's not getting through. And I said, did she ever apply for the program? She said no. Where is her? She's sleeping, and that's 1 o'clock in the day. Parents, teach your children the value of hard work. You worked hard. It did not...
And this was when our political leader was a senator in the Prime Minister's Ministry of Responsibility for Youth.
The perception of your parents and who your parents are. Today the children were laughing, I'm happy you're secondary, when I told them. I said, some of you are ashamed to drop from the bus in front of your gap because you don't want people to see where you live, or you don't want people to know who your mother is or who your father is. And I said to them, you cannot apologize for your past. Who your mother is your mother. And who your father is your father. And I said to them, my father was a bus driver. And I feel very proud. You know why? Anywhere I go in Grenada, everybody, Darius was a nice man. He was a bus driver. I couldn't change that. But I cannot say that I'm afraid or ashamed to say who my father was. And the same way, you have to teach your children to be proud of who you are. That is who you are. So whether you make firing to sell, and their friend's mother probably works in the bank, you are that person's mother. That is who you are. But I say to us as young people, what we have to do now is to ensure that we break the cycle of poverty in our families. So we must now work towards, and that is what we have to teach the children to do now, to work towards breaking the cycle of poverty that existed or exists in the family. So if my mother is making foreign and it's tough, or she's unemployed, go and make mistakes so that I end up in the same problem. I must work my way so that I can now come back and mind my mother. If my mother dropped out of school, it doesn't mean I have to follow her to drop out of school. I must make sure I stay in school, work hard, do well, and come back and mind my mother and make sure my mother is happy. And that is what building communities is all about. We do not want to sit down there and see our children go down and feel satisfied with that. Too many parents you hear, I give up on him. I can't take it again, 14-year-old. We have a program now where a bus actually picks up some young guys. One is actually 14. He should be in a school like this. And that bus takes them because the court do not want to send them to Richmond Hill. And they are in that program as alternative sentencing. So in other words, if they fail to carry out the responsibilities that they have within the program, the police could arrest them and take them back to the court. But I asked myself, how did a 14-year-old get there? And he cannot go home. They have to hold him, right, from home, because when he goes home, what he does, he beats his mother. And I said to myself, how did a mother allow her son to get to that point of beating her? My son is 1 year old. And this morning he wanted to cry which shoe he wanted to put on. So he pointed mommy's shoe. I put on the black one in his foot and he cried. And I said, well, mister, this is the shoe that you're going to wear. And the father is telling me, don't make him cry, put on the other one. And I said to him, we have to inculcate it from now. Because when we give them what they want all the time, when we don't give them, you know what happens? They turn back and they beat us. And then we say as parents, my son beating me, right? And the point I'm making to us as parents here we have a God-given responsibility. Children, you have a responsibility to respect your parents, to obey your principal, your teachers. And that is why sometimes I agree with persons who say, with every right comes a responsibility. Because sometimes you keep hearing about children's right, children right, children right. And there are some things that I personally have a difficulty with. Because I believe with every right must come a responsibility. So I don't understand how a 13-year-old could be out in Grenville at midnight. And then somebody comes and says, what the government is doing. Brothers and sisters, if this is how we are going to build a better community, we know we're setting up ourselves to fail. Because a 13-year-old, and my father used to say, I never remember a day when my husband now called, and something he said when he answered the phone, and he said, you are a woman until you leave this roof. How many parents insist that their children obey them while they are in their care? And I always like to say, parenting is not because you have a child, it's because you are given a child, and given a child by God. And when parents come before me crying, about 2 weeks ago, a lady called me crying on the phone. I think you're the only one who could talk to her. Young lady, 17, enrolled by her mother in St. George's University, is actually in hospital because she tries to kill herself. So I leave the meeting I was supposed to go to see her in the hospital. And when I asked her, well, what happened? What's going on? Her boyfriend, something. And I said to her, your boyfriend, you try to kill yourself for 17? With a chance of a university education in your hand, your mother doing a regular job, sacrificing to send you to a university that thousands of children in this country don't have that opportunity. I said to her, well, you need lash from here till you reach back home. And the point is this, parents, all of these and more is as a result of our lack of insisting on the values that we had as children. So our parents insisted on the values, we grew up well, but we will not insist on the same values for our children, and that is where the breakdown is happening. The other thing I want to say to us is commitment and appreciation, and
Yes, indeed, folks. I'm going to have to cut it here. But what I will do, though, is that I'm going to take that entire presentation by Honorable Emlyn Pear, and I'll place it as standalone on the Talking Points YouTube and Facebook pages. So look out for that one. So I'll be loading that entire presentation because it's a very succinct presentation with a lot of important information that she was giving. And imagine she was saying this about 20 years ago, back in 2006. About 20 years ago, and thanks to those that reminded me, the program she did was called Youth Vibes. So when other people try to speak down to my political leader, when other people try to make it seem as though my political leader don't know what she's doing and don't know what she about, try that with somebody else, because from the time all you started around me, I go shut all you up. From the time you try to make it look like my political leader is not a real leader and all kind of thing, I could show you, not just tell you, I can show you where she is not just a true leader, but a decent, honest, hard-working leader. Yeah? I can show you, not just tell you. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. We're way over time tonight, believe me. And they'll go for till 11 o'clock tonight. We're way over time tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you and everything you say. And do it safe and secure. We'll be back with more Talking Points on Monday, God's willing, for you. Love each of you. Thanks to all of you who called in, all of you who sent whatever information and so on. Want to thank all of you that contributed in whatever way to the program for this week thus far. And we look forward to bringing the information out to you on Monday again. Tell them if it's one man, they can't come and talk stupidness around. It's me. Because you see all the videos I show there? Show me one person sitting on the government side who was involved in any of the things that I was showing there. Folks, in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. I am out.